When I was small, I always thought I had an unorthodox way of thinking. As much as I hate to admit it, I've always subconsciously thought of myself as above everyone else. It was arrogance that came with my youth. As I grew and interacted with different people, my ego started to dwell. I started to realize some of my flawed logic. That perspective and experience plays a big part in figuring out this game called life. But as I became more aware of my arrogance as a child, my subconscious did a 180, avoiding this narcissistic mindset at all costs. These thoughts were like greedy waves grabbing at the sand. Doubt yourself. You're wrong. You can't feel confidence in your own beliefs. How many times have you thought yourself smart, only to have it systematically stepped on, torn to pieces? You're not an egotist. You're not that. You're better than that. I let my mind wander through endless conclusions, only to instinctively whip it like a misbehaved child. I became paranoid. Because if I didn't know anything, all I know is that once I start thinking I know that I have become a fool. But my core philosophy was never challenged, because I never really shared it. And maybe that has to change. I'm sure you're all aware that I'm trying to diverge from my usual content. I have all sorts of ideas that float around my head, including video essays. Yes, the fabled moving images with voiceover talking about something that's supposed to be meaningful. This idea sprung to mind because I've always had some thoughts about random things that I want to share with the world. But these thoughts often lay dormant in my head, never really reaching anyone else because it doesn't have any reason to. As a human, I have an instinctive desire to share my opinions and ideas with as many people as possible. And the fact that making videos has become my blood and bones is probably the most enjoyable way I can express my thoughts. But as I thought about it a little more, I realized I've failed to ask one crucial question. Who the fuck cares? I'm 16, barely. Who cares about what I have to say about the world? When did my ego get so big as to expect people to listen to a 16-year-old ramble with no credibility? People have been thinking about every topic I plan to cover for longer than I've ever lived. If I share my opinions about things at this age, my future self will want to strangle the present me for saying some dumbass shit in my videos. And so I shut the idea down. But then I thought, well, is that so bad though? Maybe I'm just looking at this wrong. The purpose of video essays is to incite discussion, not to lay out imperatives. And if I say some dumbass shit, that's the point. Those are my beliefs at the time, and it can be shot down with contradictory evidence of further discussion. It's an archive of my ideas maybe. A deconstruction of my ego, exposing it to the world so they can pull their pants down and take a big fat shit of facts and logic straight into my beliefs. Or maybe, my beliefs will stand up to scrutiny. That would probably only bolster my ego to dangerous levels, but it means that at least my beliefs are in the right direction. A bit of my paranoia can be laid to rest, knowing that my ideas at least aren't bullshit, cause most of my ideas are pretty whack. I mean, I haven't lived for very long. I think everyone's experienced this arrogance in their teenage years, when they think they've got life all figured out, only to have their beliefs crumble before their eyes as they experience a little more. I'm trying my best to stay away from this mindset, but ultimately, the motivation of this video series stems from this arrogance, even if I don't want to admit it. I think what I'll find most challenging doing these videos is finding proper evidence for my claims. Too often do I form conclusions in my head simply because it's congruent with my past experiences and my logic. Rarely do I go through the trouble to fact check myself, but I'll try my best. Another thing I'll probably struggle with is actually saying what I want to say. I'm too used to making up some BS that logically follows previous sentences because I'm used to school, where your actual opinion matters almost as less as the shit teachers give about it. But I can't do that here because I need to clearly explain what I think, not what's possible, like the intro I wrote for this video. In the process of trying to captivate people with a story, I've told a tangent made of half-truths. I guess this really comes down to my writing skill, and hopefully that will improve as time progresses. This is the archive, because it's where I archive all the random shit that goes to my head all the time. One day I'll look back and be like, look at this stupid idiot with his stupid ideas and stupid brain and self-referential nature to cover his inadequacies, haha. Something like that. If you want to see a topic covered in the series, leave a comment down below and I'll probably hide it and not ever do it because I'm lazy. I guess I should think of an outro for this. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like and subscribe. Nah, that's probably too generic. But just see ya. See ya. Too short? Yeah, haha, that's what she said. But who's she? Who's this she that always says these sexual innuendos? Man, I really gotta take a crap right now.